Hello viewers and welcome to part 3, final part of our Gamescom coverage just of the show. All this video is a walk around the halls just to show you the immense amount of people that were there. I mean, getting round 100,000 people, it really was pretty crazy. Gamescom itself, if you've not been, I mean certainly it's an opportunity to see some of the different games, but having said that, getting to play the games is another thing entirely, and the queues were immense, but you can see the people all the way down the corridor between the main gaming halls, and what you don't get in this video is the heat. I'm going to mention that probably several times in this video. It was absolutely boiling hot there. Just trying to cut my way through the concourse here using my extra height of the camera just to give you guys an aerial view. And if you've not been to a games convention before, I mean, there's always a buzz of excitement. I think always the best moment is this moment, is when you're walking towards a hall and you get a glimpse inside the door and you see the big banners and you're like, wow, let's see what's in there. It's always exciting and it never gets old, even after quite a few years of doing these sorts of shows and events. You see sort of one of the main halls here, and these halls are vast as well. You can walk for miles inside them. Giant stands. So you can see 2K there, a few of the games on display. Just trying to get an angle to get this camera up at the moment. And you can see Ubisoft, they had a massive stand in the middle as well. Evolve as well there. Wish I'd had the time to play that. Never really got round to it at the time. You know, so much of my time is taken up with making videos on YouTube for racing games that so many other genres I just don't get the time to play, which is a bit of a shame. I will alter that at some point, get back to some other genres. So at the moment you can see the queues there building up, long queues. I mean, some of these queues were hours and hours long for each game. Crazy queues, 4 hours long for Need for Speed. We'll see that in a moment. Just coming around to the Microsoft stand. Ever popular Minecraft there. Something I've never really got into myself. Could never really see the fascination. I'd rather some Lego bricks or something when I was young. So always popular. Lots of games dotted about on the Microsoft stand, but no Gears of War, which was a shame. I was looking forward to that myself. Over here, I just decided to stroll towards the obvious one, which is Forza Motorsport. So huge banners. As you can see, lots of people. So working my way around, cosplayers and people and everything else. Just these are all the lucky gamers here playing on the Forza Motorsport stand. You can see the triple screens there just down to the left. We got our footage. Just trying to get in there, but there was just too many people, and barging through the crowd was a bit awkward with my big bag and the camera I lug around. Bit of an aerial view. And of course, further in the back of that hall, you have the EA area. Again, there was thousands of people in here. You can't see very well because it was so dark in there, but there were thousands of people in here. You know, a 4-hour queue for Need for Speed, probably a 6-hour queue for Star Wars somewhere. Need for Speed over there, completely surrounded. There's just so many fans for these big EA franchises. But it was great to see the massive AT-AT and TIE Fighter they had in the back corners of the room. As I walk around other parts of that hall and found Trackmania on display there as well. You know, the queues were so big and there were so many people. I wouldn't mind sometimes filming people playing on the show floor, but so hot, so uncomfortable. This was in the business area, the Yuki stand. They had indie display area. Always like to support indie games. I mean, we run a lot of news on those on the website. Do check out the website because we've always got lots of racing news on there. And there are lots of other halls as well. It didn't have all the sort of main games. This one was one of the sort of basement halls, if you like. And they were just huge. I mean, walking around them all, I think YouTube Gaming were in this hall somewhere. We don't see it all on the video, but so much to see and do. This hall had emptied out a little bit at this moment, so it just gave me a chance to walk through, but there were still probably 10,000 people wandering around. Just struggling to get the camera up here at this stage and sort it out. Slightly knocked. Dancing going on. More an event to come and see the games rather than play on them for a lot of consumers. I mean, they just won't get to play many games. The queues were so long. Here, this was the Kartcraft section I showed before, but again, you can see all the people waiting here, you know, queuing to get on it, have a go, just to play something, anything. I looked there and I thought, well, I could do some sneaky queue jumping, but no. The reality is, there was too many people. It was too hot. And though I wanted to play it, to run a video on it, proved to be probably more hassle than it's going to be worth. But again, I was slightly disappointed they didn't have riders, you know, actually, you know, the drivers on there, just empty carts driving along. It really set a sense of realism. Nice to see the dynamic of the body and head leaning in, body weight on the shoulders. Other main halls, you can see a blizzard down there. Oh my goodness, just so many people. And these halls, you can see, just massive. I think there were at least 8 halls of this size. So, and you see the queues and the people. Oh my goodness. I've been to lots of shows over the years. I mean, E3 is much easier to get around, but it is for the media. Gamescom is a consumer show, but really the media day is no longer just a media day, which makes it really difficult for us to get the video and get the work done, because there's just too many people. When you turn up to some racing games, I mean, there was a lot of racing content we'd have probably covered that we just didn't. And I think it's a bit of a shame. There's just so many people, and there was just no allocation now for the media as such. You can see the people in front of me. I'm working my way through here gradually. Queues around the stands. There was all this Metal Gear Solid artwork going on here, some Metal Gear thing going on, and cosplayers having photos and stuff like that. You know, it's going on all day, boiling hot. I don't know how those people survived. Some of the cosplay stuff boiling. And you can see the TIE Fighter down there. I spy a TIE Fighter, so I decided it's time to have a walk down to the TIE Fighter. Just epic amount of people. See this? There's no way you're getting on any games at this stage. You've got to get there first thing in the morning, really, and even first thing. I mean, it was just so busy. Star Wars stand gradually. So overall, I think Gamescom is a good event to an extent for gamers. From a personal standpoint, I wouldn't bother with Gamescom. I'd rather just watch the videos on YouTube. You get better coverage on YouTube. It's nicer watching this on this video here than it was being there wandering around. It was just too hot, too uncomfortable. You're dehydrating constantly, and it's just plain not a nice place to play some of the games sometimes. It's just too many people. I think the event could do with, you know, being 20,000 less people at the event. Elsewhere, I saw Andy Tudor doing some mixing on a stand, getting into his music, well in the zone, and he was surrounded by, as you can see here, Logitech Project Cars competition. He was well into it, so I think we'll get some footage there of these rigs, which I haven't tried these rigs before, so I have no idea how comfortable they are, but looking at them, my shoulders will probably be where those headrests are, so probably too small for me. That is the big problem with so many rigs. They're just made for people who are quite short, and though a lot of racing drivers are, it doesn't apply to video games and simulations because it's not real. Right, so here we are then. The Vasaro was there with their direct drive running the iRacing. I haven't played Monza in iRacing, but person going off here. Always an impressive rig, and the direct drive seems to be really interesting people. It's not a small piece of kit, very expensive, and you can see here big crowds on this Intel stand, and the two rigs were there as well. People enjoying that, just enjoying the whole experience that D-boxes offer, which is always incredible. It adds so much to the experience, having a correctly tuned D-box and the solidity of a rig. you've got Morpheus, which was there. I tried the Morpheus at the show, and it's very impressive. I think it works well. I mean, compares well to Oculus Rift, though obviously it's still very early technology in many respects. And you know, let's face it, I mean, it is pixelated. You know, all the headsets are pixelated at the moment. Morpheus looks pretty cool, but it does hang on your head really well. It's a really comfortable device. It doesn't rest on your nose like other ones. It rests on your head. Your head takes the weight. It works well. So Morpheus is looking good. I mean, I think it's definitely going to be a good inroad for VR, but still a long way to go before it's going to be mass market consumer material in many respects. And they're working out new things all the time. This was a simulation area. I showed a bit of this in another video. I wanted to film more of this, but by this stage it was just so hot. It really was uncomfortable walking around this stand now. And I saw American truck driver there and American Truck Simulator, and I thought, let's get a bit of footage. And then this guy just parked up and didn't do anything for ages. And I thought, right, well, that's it, let's move on. At the other end of the hall now, I've gone through all the main halls to get to this point. Wow. That was pretty hot coming down here, and I cut through a couple more halls while I worked my way back to base, the business area, get out of the consumer area, back to the business. What do we got there? Bit of Nintendo. I don't film Nintendo though because Nintendo, and just again more people, just more halls and more people, just never-ending people basically. A lot of rubbish lying around as well, which are really piled up every day. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the show. You know, it's I think it's nice just to have a little. Sometimes you just want to have a wander and see some of the stands. I would have liked a bit more time. I think if there was a few less people and a bit less heat, I'd probably have spent a bit more time having a nice wander and getting careful shots of the stands. But with time being tight and the sheer quantity of people being so high, we'll just leave it at that. But I hope you've enjoyed all the Gamescom content. There's a couple more bits to come in terms of the racecraft stuff, but certainly it's been an interesting show again for this year, and as ever, there'll be more from me very soon.